All right, let's get right into it. So you've got AI skills, and you know they're valuable. The real question is, how do you actually turn those skills into a business? Well, today we're breaking down the three big models: freelancing, running an agency, and building a SaaS. They can all make you money, sure, but only one of them truly builds you an asset.
And this is the central question, isn't it? Which path is the right one for you? By the end of this explainer, you're going to have a super clear framework to make that call. And trust me, it's a huge decision because a lot of people, they pick the wrong one right out of the gate. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the freelancer's grind, then talk about scaling up with an agency, and then we'll get to the real game changer, building a SaaS asset. After that, we'll put them all head-to-head in a final showdown and wrap up with a clear, strategic path for you. Let's do this.
Okay, first up, the model where almost everyone starts: freelancing. And look, it's popular for a really good reason. It is hands down the fastest way to turn what you know into actual cash in your pocket.
The whole model is just beautifully simple. You find a client, you use your AI skills to build whatever they need, maybe an automation, maybe a custom tool, you deliver it, you get paid, and then what? You have to do the entire thing all over again? It's a constant, never-ending cycle.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at these numbers. The income is immediate, startup costs are basically nothing, and those profit margins, I mean, wow, 80 to 95%. But, and this is the big one, look at that fatal flaw. This is the absolute killer. No matter how much money you make this month, next month, you're right back at zero.
And this picture says it all, doesn't it? Your revenue chart as a freelancer looks kind of like a heart monitor. You get these high peaks when you land a big project, but then you get these deep, scary valleys in between. There's no accumulation. Nothing compounds. You're always on the hunt for that next gig just to keep the lights on.
So let's move on to the next logical step. To get out of that time for money trap, a lot of freelancers decide to level up and build an agency. The idea here is you're not just selling your hours anymore.
So what is an agency, really? It's basically freelancing with leverage. You start building systems, you productize your services, and you hire a team, or maybe just use more powerful automations to handle way more work. You're the owner now, juggling a bunch of projects for a bunch of clients.
Okay, so the upside is your revenue ceiling gets a lot higher, and you start building a brand, which, that has some value. But notice the margins. They drop pretty hard because you've got overhead now, you've got a team to pay. And here's the new fatal flaw. You're still building stuff for other people. Every amazing tool, every piece of software, it belongs to your client, not to you.
And you can see it in the revenue chart. I mean, it's an improvement, for sure. The peaks are higher. Maybe you have some retainers that smooth things out a bit, so it's not quite as jagged as freelancing. But it's still lumpy. It's still fundamentally tied to landing that next big client. You haven't really solved the core problem yet.
And that brings us to our third model. And this isn't just an improvement, it's a completely different way of thinking. We're about to shift from just providing a service to actually creating and owning an asset. This, right here, is the magic of SaaS. You build a software product one time, just once, and then you sell access to it over and over and over again to hundreds, maybe thousands of customers who all pay you a subscription fee every single month.
Let's make this super real. Say your product costs $49 a month. In your first month, you get just 10 customers. That's $490 in monthly recurring revenue. But here's the key. You don't start from zero next month. You keep those customers and you just add more. Look how that number grows, how it compounds over a year to almost $5,000 a month.
And that $4,900 a month? That translates to almost $60,000 in annual recurring revenue. That's a real asset you've built. It's an income stream that is not dependent on you trading hours for dollars every single day. And the best part is, it just keeps growing.
So the most important thing to see here is the shape of this revenue curve. It's smooth, it's predictable, and it's always moving up and to the right. Your revenue accumulates. It never, ever resets to zero. This is the difference between running on a treadmill and building a rocket ship.
All right, it's time for the final showdown. Let's put all three of these models on one table and compare them side by side across the things that really matter for building, long-term wealth and freedom. Let's just walk through this. Revenue type? SaaS is the only one with predictable recurring income. Scaling? With freelancing, you need more hours. With an agency, you need more people. With SaaS, you just need more customers. It's infinitely more scalable. And then we get to the two most important lines on this whole chart:
ownership and exit potential. With SaaS, you own the asset. You have a product that you can sell one day for a life-changing amount of money. The other two models, they don't even come close on that front.
So the data is pretty clear, right? But this isn't just about picking a winner. It's about building a smart strategy. How do you actually go from just making an income to building a real, valuable asset?
And this is a really, really good question. I mean, if SaaS is so obviously the best model for building wealth, why does almost everybody start out as a freelancer? Well, the answer is simple. It's the path of least resistance. You get that immediate cash, that immediate validation, and that's really hard to say no to. And what that means is that every single freelancer, sooner or later, comes to this fork in the road. You can keep going down path one, building stuff for other people, hitting that income reset button every month, or you can take path two. You can start building for yourself, own the outcome, and let that revenue truly compound. And here it is. This is the key takeaway of this entire explainer. Don't think of these models as being totally separate. The smartest move, the smartest strategy is to use that fast cash from freelancing or agency work to pay your bills while you build your own SaaS product on the side. Think of it as a bridge, not a trap.
But I have to give you a crucial piece of advice here. AI makes building the actual software easier than it has ever been, but that's only like 20% of the battle. The real work, the other 80%, is in validating your idea, marketing it, and actually getting people to pay you for it. Building a SaaS is about building a business, not just building an app. So that brings us to the final question, and this one is all for you. Now that you've seen the models, the numbers, and the strategic path forward, are you ready to make that shift? Are you ready to stop trading your time for money and start building a real asset that can grow, even when you're not working? The choice is yours.